quality, Capo said. If you have any type of illness, whether it be asthma, allergy, or cardiovascular, that you are under treatment and you have a doctor, and if you use your medicines, you can decrease your risk of worsening disease in this type of air quality. Patel also advises that people with asthma make sure you have your rescue inhaler, which is usually a buterol, and make sure you're using it correctly with an aero chamber, a plastic tube with a mouthpiece that increases the medicine's effectiveness and helps control how the medicine is delivered to the small airways in the lungs. Starting it early and not waiting for symptoms to get worse, so that probably means the first sign of cough or irritation. Just go ahead and using it. There's no harm in starting your inhaler, and then if that's not helping, contact your primary care provider or seeking additional care if you or your child is having difficulty breathing. What helps air quality indoors? The recommendation is to close your windows, turn on the air conditioners, turn on air filters, Capo said. DiCarlo agrees. Indoors are generally about half or less the concentration of air pollutants from outside when it comes to particles, which is what we're concerned with here. And that all goes away as soon as you open your windows and doors and just let free-flowing air come in, he said. People who invested in HEPA air filtration units during COVID might be time to break those out again and run those indoor spaces where we are to kind of minimize our exposure to outdoor air pollution. Avoid vacuuming for 2 reasons. Probably you're going to stir things up, and that's a little bit more physical activity if you're throwing a vacuum cleaner around, and you're going to be breathing more heavily. So that's probably something you should avoid, DiCarlo said. Can allergy medicine help? It's not necessarily like allergies. It's an irritant. Although I guess some people could be allergic and have an allergic component, Patel said. An antihistamine dries us up, so it potentially could help even though the mechanism is different, meaning the reason you have excess mucus production is different. It's going to help dry you up, so it will help clear your sinuses. It's not going to help with like the anti-itching as much, I think. But if someone has an allergic component to the wildfire smoke, then they should take it. Can old advice, like drinking a lot of water, eating peppermints, or drinking strong coffee to breathe better help? Drinking water is always very beneficial, so I'm not going to say no to that. But it's not going to prevent symptoms from being exposed to this poor air quality, Capo said. Is wildfire smoke and air quality a long-term health concern? For this week, this is just a situation where we've got a few days of pretty poor air quality. It's the beginning of summer for many of us who are parents, and maybe we can use it as an opportunity not to run around as much until this poor air quality passes, DiCarlo said. We expect wildfires are going to become more frequent in a warming climate, which is what we have. We typically see these impacts with wildfires in the western US and in the Mountain West. The East Coast is generally a little bit more insulated from this type of thing. Our forests tend to be wetter and don't burn as much, but looking forward with climate change, while this is kind of a unique experience that we're seeing right now, it may become a lot less unique and a little bit more common in the future, which would be unfortunate. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel for latest updated news.